Hello and welcome to Trish Polish. I'm Trish and my goal is to swatch as much of the nail polish in Japan as I possibly can. If that sounds like something you'd also be interested in, please consider subscribing. If not, that's okay too. It's still nice to see you. So do y'all remember a couple of videos when I said that I was all aboard the jelly train? Yeah, well, okay, so that has evolved and I have taken a dive off the jelly deep end. I have gone down the jelly black hole. We've got some serious jelly polishes to look at today. Also, in the last video, I did mention that the first 5 of Tuxedo Sam's polishes were like super crazy, sparkle, pretty awesome, fun colors. And then the second half of Tuxedo Sam's polishes were completely different. Well, the reason is the last 5 polishes in Tuxedo Sam's collection are what Japanese call syrup polishes. What are syrup polishes? Well, syrup polishes are like the jelliest jellies to ever jelly. They are so jelly polish that you kind of have to go to Polish Mountain to get a color out of them. That sounds worse than it is. I promise it's not that bad. So the point of syrup nails is to have that melted, syrupy, like, you know the flavored syrups that you put on top of like a snow cone, or in Japan it's called kakigori. That was the image behind the syrup nail colors. So this style blows up in Japan during the summer because that's when everybody's eating shaved ice. So naturally, we're gonna take that, we're gonna imitate it, and we're gonna stick it on our nails. Because why not? So today we've got the last 5 of Tuxedo Sam's polishes plus 1 bonus other syrup polish to look at today. So let's get into the swatches. First up today we have the shade Strawberry Syrup. This polish is exactly what the name implies. It looks like, well, I guess it kind of looks like red cough syrup. But it's supposed to look like the syrup you put on top of a snow cone, not cough syrup. Anyway, in the first coat, it is so sheer, like I had trouble seeing where I had actually applied the polish because it didn't look like there was anything on my nails. With that in mind, I kind of put more polish on the brush than I needed, but you still couldn't really see it in the first coat, or really actually the second coat. Like at this point, I was really not sure about these polishes. Like, I didn't expect them to be quite this sheer. I mean, fair enough, like if you Google Japanese syrup polishes, they all look super sheer, so I shouldn't have been really that surprised. And I kind of went into this knowing that it was going to take at least 3 coats to build it up to sort of kind of an almost like see-through pinkish color. But yeah, it definitely needs 3 coats. I don't know, but these are supposed to be really clear and melty looking, and it's definitely clear and melty looking. But like honestly, even with all of this sheerness, I don't hate it. And I think it really does look like a melted popsicle. And I know some of y'all are going to think I'm nuts because I realize this polish is crazy, super ridiculously sheer, but it's kind of pretty. And it looks glassy. It kind of looks like polygel. Anyway, here's Strawberry Syrup in 3 coats. Next up, we have the shade Lemon Fizz. Again, with this one, the names are really freaking cute. Like, this just looks like it would be a lemon fizzy drink or something. No shocker with the total sheerness here on the first coat. It almost looks like there's nothing there, but it does kind of accentuate the yellowness of my smile line. So hey, in the first coat, I know this is almost like a 100% clear polish with a tint of yellow in it, but I kind of like it. It looks like a gumdrop or a lemon drop. Lemonade? Lemon popsicle. Melted lemon popsicle. In the second coat, we start to get a little bit more color payoff, but yeah, it's still super sheer and still looks like lemon ice. Lemon gel. Help me out here, guys. I gotta say though, the formula on all of these is pretty smooth. Like, there is absolutely no problem with it going on. It feels like it's a nice, like, thick but not too thick consistency. I don't know, it's a nice formula. I do wish the brushes were a little better though, and I can hear y'all calling me crazy right now, but just like with the last one, like I kind of dig it. Almost like if you look at the nail head on, it doesn't look like there's much going on, but if you look at it from an angle, it looks like there's a layer of yellow candy on your fingernails, and it's kind of cool. Here is Lemon Fizz in 3 coats. Next up is Melon Squash. So like the first time I saw this, I was like, melon squash, like pumpkin squash, but no, I think it literally means like squished melon or melon juice. Fun fact, most melons in Japan, unless it's a watermelon, they're actually the green honeydew melons as opposed to cantaloupes. Anyway, this one is a really pretty green. Again, this one has a wonderful formula. I'm not a fan of the brush, but that's okay. It still goes on nice and smooth. The color really started to pop in the second and third coats on this one. Like, again, you could go in for more, but you're probably not gonna. The point is that it looks like syrup, and I don't care if you put this entire bottle on your finger. I don't think this would ever be like anywhere close to opaque or like saturated in color. Should I try? One thing that did impress me with these polishes is like I don't feel like the color is patchy like at all. I feel like for what it's worth, $1 polish that's supposed to be like a syrupy melted popsicle, I feel like, you know, the color was pretty even and the formula was super nice. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I kind of dig it. I'm not gonna lie, I did have like a moment of panic when I was swatching these and I was thinking, this is not gonna work, these aren't gonna work, you're not gonna be able to see them. But like in the end, I really liked the clear, juicy, gel-like effect that they had. And yeah, I feel like it looks like a melted popsicle. Here is 3 coats of Melon Squash. Next up is Blue Liqueur in the bottle. This one I think was my favorite out of all of them, but y'all, this brush, it straight up reminds me of my hair in the humidity in the summertime here, y'all. It was fluffy and all over the place. So with these dollar store polishes, like sometimes the brushes are hit and miss, but this has got to be the worst brush that I've dealt with. And because of that, this color was kind of difficult to like even out and get onto my fingers. I definitely had to try harder with this one, which is so sad because this is such a pretty color. No surprises here, it is super sheer in the first coat, but just like the other polishes, it does start to build up in the second and third coats. But this brush is not doing it any favors. It's a cool color though. It's like a jelly cobalt blue. It reminds me of those really expensive old-fashioned bowls that are white with like the blue flowers and the blue detailing on it. Like, this color is stunning. I need a new brush. So it might be the brush's fault, it might be my fault, I'm not really sure, but I feel like this one looks just a tad bit patchier than the other ones. I don't feel good about the application on this, but it is really pretty. Because it is so sheer, it almost looks purple, but it, like, the color that comes out on your nails and the color in the bottle I feel like are kind of different, but maybe it's because of the yellow in my nails, like it turned the color because the polish is so sheer. I don't know, what do y'all think? Like, it looks different than the bottle. And I'm kind of sad that I don't like it more, but just that brush. Here's Blue Liqueur in 3 coats. Last up for the Tuxedo Sam polishes is Grape Sour. This literally looks like grape juice in the bottle, and I know I've said that before about a different polish from the Hello Kitty line, but y'all, this looks like grape juice in the bottle. So I should probably apologize for my wonky voice, like I've got some sort of throat thing, and yeah. I use my voice for my like regular day job, so I'm trying not to overdo it, but I get really excited about nail polish, so sometimes like I can't control like the volume of my voice, so if it sounds weird in some spots, I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, this one is also sheer in the first and second and really third coats. This one is a warmer purple, but it kind of looks pink, or is it just me? Like the color in the bottle again, and the color that comes out on the nails, just like with the last polish, I feel like it's just a tad different. Like this one looks more pinky red than it does purple. I don't know. It definitely still looks like candy though. I don't know if I would call it grape though. What do y'all think? Not that it's a bad color, I don't know if I would call it grape. It definitely looks grape in the bottle. You know what, actually, if you look at this from an angle, it does have a purple tint to it, but if you look at it straight on, I think it's because my fingernails have like a yellow stain. I think it's a little discolored around the smile line. Do y'all see it? Anyway, again, I don't hate it. I think it's kind of cute, but it doesn't look like it does in the bottle. And here's Grape Sour in 3 coats. Bonus polish. This one is not actually a Tuxedo Sam polish, as you can clearly see on the bottle. It was a Little Twin Stars polish from before the rebrand. So this is what the polish bottles used to look like. And apparently before the rebrand, the Little Twin Stars set of 10 polishes were the syrup polishes. So this one is a holdover. I found it like all by its lonesome in my Daiso. And I gotta say, I was really impressed with how bold the color was, even here on this first coat. Like, you can definitely tell that there's a color on my fingers. And I feel like with some of the Tuxedo Sam polishes, like they were so sheer on the first coat, you really had to like strain to see the color. But this one, it's obviously a pinkish orange color even here. And then in the second coat, it totally pops. Like, I was debating doing 3 coats of this one. Like, it almost doesn't need it. But, you know, for consistency's sake, I went ahead and put on 3 coats anyway. And it is bright in the third coat. Like, this one is probably the most pigmented out of all of the colors that we've looked at today. And it makes me really, really curious about the other syrup polishes before the rebrand, if they were all this good. Because, I don't know, like, it might be just a little better than the Tuxedo Sam polishes. What do y'all think? Like, I feel like the color definitely pops more than the red or the purple from the Tuxedo Sam line. I don't know. If I can find the rest of these, I will definitely find them and try them out, because I'm kind of curious to see if they changed the way they did the syrup polishes in the rebrand, because I don't know, I just feel like the color is a lot more thin, or a lot more, in Japanese the word is usui. So like a lot more not pigmented, and I can't think of the English for that right now. Here is 3 coats of syrup pink. So what do you think? Okay, so I know people are torn on the subject of jelly polishes in general. So the idea of like a jelly or a syrup polish is probably like a big turnoff for some people. But what do you think? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of into it. I spent more time Googling Japanese syrup nail design than I'd like to admit, but in the end, I was a convert. So I wanted to show you guys like a couple of different ways that you could wear these polishes if you choose to. Now, I am by no means a nail artist, so these are mediocre attempts at best, but here's a few ideas for you. The first way I saw a lot of people using these polishes was like a lazy gradient, because they're supposed to smooth out easily, but I didn't have a lot of luck with that, and they absolutely do not sponge on. So most people just said to use the brush to dab it on and blend it together. So I did, and this kind of looks like melted strawberry ice cream, which I don't hate it, but I think I could have done it better, you know? The next way I saw a lot of people use these polishes was dabbing them over a white base to create kind of a watercolor effect. So I really like this idea. I thought it looked really cute, and it would be a nice like background for some stamping possibly. The next one I did was over a silver base, and I started out using this like syrupy lazy French gradient, and decided that I wanted to see what it would look like if I dabbed the colors over it like I did with the white. And I think this is my favorite way to wear this, because it looks like a stained glass window, and it's actually really pretty. And then lastly, a good old-fashioned jelly sandwich, but over white because I was curious. Anyway, I wanted to use the white to make the color pop because I thought it gave it like a really nice pastel-y effect. Anyway, the order of the sandwich is white base, jelly polish, everything taco, and another layer of the jelly, and it turned out almost pastel and a little mermaidy and super pretty actually. As usual, a little bit more about the brand. These are the same as the other polishes in the Friend Nail lineup. So they come in these little tiny 5 milliliter bottles. They retail for 100 yen, and they are sold at Daiso stores nationwide in Japan. I'm not entirely sure whose lineup I'll do next. Like, I'm leaning a little bit towards like the little twin stars, because they had the jelly or syrupy polishes before the rebrand, and now theirs are totally different. But there's also this little dog guy, like I can't remember his name, but it starts with a P. I'll put it on screen somewhere. Anyway, his polishes are like really bright and fun, and I think really good for the season. I don't know. I'll surprise you, so stay tuned for that. So that's gonna be all from me today. Before you go, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job. And if you'd like to hang out and talk some more about Japanese nail polish, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and y'all have a good week.